There it is. Get everyone started on a nice little giggle. Carissa, welcome to the show. I'm excited to talk to you. I think we're both excited to talk to you because what's so unique about your journey is you kind of knew you were going to be an artist from early on. You got your BFA. You've been doing this art, this photography, and now you're kind of going into a second act, moving across the country, becoming a makeup artist. And so we get to see you at both stages and kind of talk to you about what it's been like for you. And we're going to get into all of that. I want to skip back all the way to the beginning and ask you, is there a prominent first memory that you might have of when the love for art sparked for you, or when you decided like, oh yes, this is what fills me up. This is what I want to pursue.
Yeah. I feel like it's just kind of been ingrained in me. Like I always, like as a kid, I always like went for the box of crayons, or I remember having this small little, like wooden table and chairs, like these tiny chairs for tiny artists like me. And I would sit at that table and just like scribble and draw and draw and draw and draw. And the other thing that I was thinking about just now is how those memories are so tied to like home videos. Like I don't think I would remember them otherwise, because I was just so young and I just started so early on. Yeah, and I would just like draw pictures for family members and like give people like little art gifts and stuff. So wholesome, so cute. Things have changed.
What? Let's talk about that. How have they changed?
I don't know. It's just developed so. It's just been such a wild journey going from doing art as something that was just like freedom of expression, which it still very much is now. But now that I've tied like business into it, I've gone through this whole journey of like developing this pretty complicated relationship with my art making practice. And yeah, especially over the pandemic, like I spent so much time alone that it's changed my whole outlook on art making, and exposed a lot of like of the weak points, or I guess, I don't know what I'm trying to say actually.
What are some of the things that exposed for you?
I was a pretty introverted kid. I mean, I definitely took part in sports and stuff and, you know, liked to do those types of things. But I mean, still to this day, like my social battery, like depletes like pretty quickly, and I have to like retreat inward, and a lot of times needed an excuse to do that, or I got bored because I don't know, I just like knew I needed to be alone or something, but wanted to do something and make it worthwhile and fun. So I would, you know, I feel like it's like kind of like a stereotypical like thing when you think about artists. They're like, oh, they're so moody and secluded. But like, I don't know, I was kind of an introverted kid and just wanted to, I just like spent a lot of time drawing and spending a lot of time alone, like doing a skill, like you get a little better at it each time. Or you find different things that you like. And, but yeah, over the pandemic, we're still in a pandemic, but the beginning of the pandemic, when things were a little more unknown, I had to adapt my practice a lot. So I started doing these spray painting, layered paintings before the pandemic. And then when we were in lockdown, I had to find ways to adapt that. And I started making jewelry out of clay, and I started painting with acrylic. And then I got sucked into YouTube. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, makeup is just like painting. It's like exploring these different textures and different mediums, and it's like the same thing. Only now my canvas can talk back to me and tell me I'm terrible, and it's not just my own or I'm good, there's feedback.
Yeah.
There's feedback.
Yeah.
It's a different experience.
Yeah.
And I'm not alone all the time, which I
Mhm.
think was something that I really needed as a young kid. But then with so much isolation, now that like we're able to like meet safely, we're all vaccinated and all of those things, I'm craving more one-on-one time with people. And this is like a way I can get like my creative expression out and still connect with other people.
I love
It's
that.
beautiful.
I love that.
Oh,
Thank you.
When did you pivot to photography? Also, hold on, very quickly. I've heard people pronounce it photographer, which is phonetically, and I've heard people say photographer, which I know I've heard a lot of people pronounce it that way, and it makes my skin crawl a little bit. But I'm wondering, like, is that the right way to pronounce? No, okay.
I don't think
like
so.
there's an R in there.
Yeah,
Photographer.
and I've heard professional photographers pronounce it that way. Like, I'm a photographer, and I'm like, huh?
I wonder if that's like a dialect thing. Like if they're from certain parts of the country. It's like if you're from Jersey, the way you say milk is like milk. Like it, different. Apparently, the way I say it, I sound like I'm from Jersey. I don't know.
Out of all the words you could have chosen, milk.
Milk is one. Forward is another one. Like some people say, like
forward.
The way forward is spelled like there is there an R in there? They like there's another sound happening, and I always try to say it that way, and I'm like, how do you say it? Like
forward.
Forward? No, there's another sound that gets added in. When I find an example, I'll send it to you. It happens. I can't think of it because I don't say it that way. I say forward, but some people like add an additional. There's an additional sound happening
somewhere else.
Yeah.
Why are we complicating these things?
It's like forward. Like there isn't the R. Forward, and I'm like, what? And then I freak out, and I'm like, am I saying it wrong? Probably. I say a lot of words wrong, so I don't know. Anyway. That's all to say. Maybe the people who are saying photographer have a particular dialect happening.
Okay,
so or not. I don't know. I'm trying to justify something I can't. So.
Photo taker. Frodo taker. When did you decide to become a Frodo taker?
When did you decide to go on your quest to Mordor? Really...
I was a young little lad. No. I think in high school, like I always knew I was like really interested in art. Like that was, like I mentioned before, it's very much ingrained, and just something that happened naturally. And in high school, I started taking a graphic design class, and I learned a lot of skills and around like editing photos, creating different layouts, and just learning the basics of like Photoshop and all of those programs. And it was a really fun class. And sometimes the kids from around the corner in the classroom, up the hallway, we would collaborate with the photography class. And they would come in, and I would just be so interested in what they were doing because there was a whole dark room. There was a studio. There was studio lighting, and I tried really hard to get into that class for like 2 years, and I finally got in. And I think there was also this little voice in my head, like, how do I create like a sustainable something for myself and make money in high school, which is insane. I was like, that's so crazy that I was thinking about that. So I was like, this is how you can make money, like doing something creative. Like I didn't know about being a designer. That seemed kind of boring to me, or, I just didn't really have a concept of what kinds of things artists could do as a career was beyond just making original works and, putting them out into the world and selling them. And so I finally got into that class, had a really amazing experience. My photography teacher, Steve Baljak, who's a really great local Bay Area photographer, he just like offered so many resources. And I was also into modeling at that time. And my mom had a DSLR camera that I definitely borrowed / stole a few times into some rogue photo shoots. And I realized how much creativity there was in producing photo shoots and producing fashion photo shoots and stuff. So I would just kind of gather up my friends and be like, hey, I have this weird idea. Let's go take some cool pictures at Lake Chabot or something, out in the forest over there. Or we would just go and do it. And I would plan all of the things. I would try and get stylists. I got on a Model Mayhem, and I even started photographing some models that were signed with agencies when I was in high school, which is feels crazy to say out loud. I mean, I wasn't ever a agency represented photographer, but I had such a great teacher that he showed me this is how this world could work. You just have to email them and show up and, deliver a great experience. And it was just fun. So I just kept doing that. And then I went to college and I was like, wow, this is a lot of work. A lot of work to produce, to think of a concept, to reach out to a model, to schedule everything. So I was doing all of that as a young kid, which it's such a task to me now that I'm it's really insane to me that I was even doing that at that age. But I had to, things happen in life, and so I was going to college, and I got burnt out by the idea of trying to continue photography. I still loved it and took other classes in college, but I switched to visual art, a different visual art medium, drawing and painting. I took more history classes. I was also, my mom went to college later in life, and I was I feel I was kind of the first person to go to college at my age, and figuring out what that was was tricky, and figuring out oh, I actually need to go talk to my counselors and me this introverted person. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just figured it out on my own. Yeah. And that's not really how that works. You should definitely be talking to your counselors and figuring out your schedule. That's pretty key. But that's kind of where I broke away from photo when I got into college, because it was such a big commitment, time-wise and energy-wise.
It's crazy that we make people decide when they're teenagers, what do you want to do with the rest of your life? Pick a major, pick a this, pick a that.
Exactly. And I didn't even know what my major was until year 3 of college, when I already transferred over to SF State. Yeah. I did the whole college thing, ended up graduating early, was so very sure of what I wanted to do, because I had this end goal in mind, right? I was going to go to law school. This is what I was going to do. This is what I planned on doing since I was a child, coming from an immigrant family that wanted me to
be financially stable. And I have an undergraduate degree in political science. I can't tell you shit about politics, aside from Teddy Roosevelt was a badass and the Electoral College is an outdated sham of an institution. That's it. That's all I can tell you. And yet I have this degree. And now at the age of 32, I'm taking classes at the local junior college and all of the things I ever wanted to study the first time around, but either didn't, like, I felt like it was too frivolous for me. I felt like, oh, same thing. Like, I don't know how I'm going to make money studying these things. This isn't a time, college is expensive. This isn't a time for me to study what I want. It's a time for me to get the things under my belt that will, you know, make me stable or get me the job. And now I'm taking these classes on screenwriting and filmmaking and all of these things that I've always wanted to learn. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no. And I can approach it more as like, I don't care what grade I make. What am I taking out of this experience? What am I taking out of it that will be sustainable for me, that will make me want to continue to come to this even after the class is over? And so, yeah, I feel like now that I'm coming at it later in life, I'm like, oh, I know how to approach this in a way that works for me, but also I know how to use this, because ultimately, like, we're paying them for a service. Like, they're working for us. Why are we getting all bent out of shape about like, oh, I have to perform and I have to do this and I have to get this grade and I have to get approval and my professor has to like me. It's like, no, bitch, I'm paying you. Like, it's up to me what I get out of the experience. And I feel like now that I'm older and I have more confidence in myself, I can demand that. So yeah, it's fascinating to me that we like send people off to college at, 17, 18, 19. And it's like, go ahead, decide what you're going to do for the rest of your life and don't fuck it up.
Yeah, cool, insane. Cool. Also, no one ever finds a job that's in line with their major. Like, it's very rare. You go through such a journey, like trying to figure out what that is. And there's this weird pressure put on students to be like, you need to pick this major so that you can have this kind of job. But that doesn't make any sense at all. I think another way of looking back on my college experience, like a different perspective that I have on it now is, there's no time wasted. Like, even though, I mean, I did end up pursuing art. Like, I'm going for that now because I have to. I feel like I have to. Like, all of those moments. So it took me 7 years to graduate because I was so in my head about picking the right major. And, I dropped out of college for a semester or two and I was like, this isn't for me. I'm going to go. I worked as a school photographer. So I did yearbook photos, and that was the hardest job.
For like what age?
I think I was like 19 or something like that.
For high schoolers or like what? Yeah, all ages, all grades?
And middle schoolers.
Oh God.
So yeah, I worked for this like local company, and we would meet in like Hayward or something. I forget where it actually was. And sometimes the call times were like 4 a.m. You have to get there at 4 a.m. because you have to be there with your whole team. You have to load all of the gear into the van, which is like heavy and just very clunky and annoying. And then you have to drive around the Bay Area to the different schools, set up all the gear, and then, all the students will come in like high energy and like ready to take their photo, or you'll get the kids that are just like very nervous and uncomfortable. I mean, you'll remember picture day. It wasn't really the most fun of times. Like,
nope.
So I'm trying to make this experience like fine for both of us, but really I'm like dying inside because I've been up since 4 a.m. like the entire week. And
oh God.
And then I was like, I think I'm gonna go back to college. I think
that was less painful.
You're like, I think this sucks.
My schedule. That seems really nice. But I still picked photo, which was interesting. Yeah. So that was a cool, I think it was an important part of the journey.
Yeah.
But I forgot what I was talking about. I put so much pressure on myself to pick the right major that it took me so long to graduate from college. And this new perspective that I have on it now is that there's no time wasted, and that all of it together, you've learned something from that you're applying to whatever part of your life you're in now, like whether you like it or not. So they're all just puzzle pieces. So you can't, there was so much pressure on myself that I was putting on myself to do the right thing that it quote unquote delayed me, but not really, because everyone just shows up where they need to be at the right time. And now I feel really excited about where I am. So had anything changed, who knows? Who knows what would have happened?
Fair point. Fair point. I feel like to go back to what you were saying about being, you know, a high schooler and working with these agency models and just doing all of these things in retrospect, you're like, wow, like what? I feel like that's the thing that kind of sometimes hurts us, is when we get in our head in the moment. I think the most amazing things that we accomplish are when we don't know any better. Like when we naively go into something, we don't research it, we don't get in our head, we just jump in, and then we're like, okay, I have to make sense of this. That's, for me, that's always been kind of the ways that I've done the most, or taken the most steps forward, or accomplished something that I'm actually like really excited and proud of. Whereas when I stop and I'm like, okay, well, there are other people doing this and they're doing it this way. And okay, how do I, like, what do I do? How do I be better? Or how do I set myself apart? Or am I good enough? And then you like spiral into the whole like self-worth, at least I do. And that's where like the dangerous part of our mind is, I think.
Yeah. Cause when you're new to something, like you're saying, you don't know any better. So you just do what feels right. You just kind of follow your impulse, and it leads you somewhere in a lot of ways, like really beautiful. And I think it's also like when you're new at something, you don't know the like quote unquote right way to do it. So you don't have anything to compare your current experience against. Like with acting, so often like new actors, like brand new baby actors, kill it. Like they do such a great job because they're not in their heads about it. They're like, I don't know, I'm just going to do it and see what happens. And then it's like the more you do it, the more you start to get in your head about it, because you're like, well, wait, like the first time I ever did a scene, I just like I was just winging it, and it went so well. But like, how do I do that? You're like always trying to chase that first like moment of glory. You're trying to recreate that feeling. And that's where you wind up in your head, because it's like, well, no, you can't go back to that. You have to move forward. But hopefully you can find that sweet spot.
Yeah, that's so crazy, because so over the pandemic, I took a break from painting because I'm very lucky to have been going to therapy for the past 2 years, which is great, and I'm very excited about that. And I learned so much about myself in that process, and realized how much of like me retreating as like a really introverted kid was tied to my art practice. I never really thought about that before, and I discovered that, and that was kind of like it was cool to know, but it was also kind of like soured the painting experience for me on the other end. And I got stuck in that moment, in that thought for a while. And instead of looking at it as a flip side, as like, this was something that was there for me, I looked at it as something as like, this is something that I had to do. And I got stuck in that place and started getting really upset I couldn't get back into the flow of things, which I think is what you were talking about, like as an actor. Once you're in the flow of something, you're always chasing it, you're always longing it, you're always like wanting to get back there. And I got so stuck in my own head, I was getting in my own way of getting back into the flow of painting. And I I'm on my way to like getting back there. I started like forcing myself to go to the studio when I have like a free moment, and trying to just keep going. But it's weird. It's weird, these relationships that we develop with our practices over time that are like, I mean, it's like having a toxic lover sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Yep. And something that like was so beautiful and like easy as a kid has changed so much over time, for better and for like worse, I guess.
Do you meditate?
Yeah.
I should. I try to. It's so hard.
It's very hard. It's very hard. I'm learning that you just have to find what works for you. So there are so many different types out there, right? There's like the silent one. There's like the guided one. There's one I found recently where they do like guided to instrumental contemporary, like R&B and hip hop. And so you kind of like get in the moment and get into your breathing with that. So there are different styles, but what I found for me is I was going through that as well, of like my inspiration wouldn't show up, or I would sit down to write something and I would stare at the blank page and be like, wow, I suck. And when I started meditating, it kind of unlocked my mind and it freed the space for me for something to come up. Like it basically opened me to it. Instead of being like, where are you, inspiration? I have to do this thing, putting all this pressure. It just brought me to this present space of openness. And what I have found is I'm working on a screenplay right now. And when I sit down to meditate, it opens me up. And towards the end of that practice, I only do it like 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day. But towards the end of that practice, it opens me up enough that one or more of the characters will kind of like yell at me. It's kind of like who will yell the loudest. And sometimes one voice comes up greater than the other voices. And then I sit down afterwards, I open the page and I just write whatever that character needs to tell me. And I don't care like that it's not the next scene in the screenplay or it's not, whatever. I just literally just get it on the page. And slowly my story has been coming to me in this way, in these kind of fragmented ways. And I know that once I get everything out, then I can kind of put it together, put the puzzle together, weave it through, like polish it. But right now, what meditating has helped me with is kind of help me listen to those voices. So that's why I asked.
That's really cool. I can't wait to read your story when it is finished, when you feel it is complete.
I will send it to you. I will send it to you. I promise. Yeah. Also, what is your sign? I need to know.
I'm an Aries.
You're an Aries. Okay.
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
April 7th.
April 7th. Okay. So, okay. Very cool. We should introduce you to our friend Yasmin, who is also an Aries, and she does these really amazing, she does a lot of digital art, and she does these really amazing comics and designs these really great journals, and they're all about inclusive female empowerment. So yeah. Wow. Anyway, I love an Aries energy. It's very fiery. It's very fiery.
Yes, it comes out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I was actually thinking about this the other day. I was like, I wonder how much of me knowing I'm an Aries has like made those traits, I've just really leaned into them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'll never know that. But I subscribe to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to speak my mind. Something that I've grown into. I've definitely grown into my Aries traits.
Yeah. I love that.
I'm a Capricorn, and for the longest time I was like, I hated Capricorns because the stereotype, right? Like they're kind of boring. They only care about money and like very materialistic, super stubborn. And I was like, excuse me? No. because I was supposed to be born in February, so I was like, I think I'm actually an Aquarius at heart, blah, blah, blah. And then as I got older and like learned more about Capricorns, I was like, oh, I'm a like stereotypical Capricorn in a lot of ways, like the stubbornness being one. But I agree with that. Like, how much of it is like, as you embrace it, you start to take on those traits, or how much of it is like you had those traits and you just kind of get more comfortable with them as you get a little bit older. But I always think it's so fascinating. Like sometimes when you meet somebody and you're like, I have a feeling that you might be a this. It's a fun game to play.
I'm an Aquarius and I get in my head all the time that I'm not being weird enough to own my Aquarius. Like, I'm like, this feels a little vanilla. Let's spice this up. But how do we turn this into the spaghetti from Elf?
Oh God.
You're welcome.
No.
Tell me that's not the perfect like metaphor for an Aquarius.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Also, favorite Christmas movie. That movie is so funny to me. That every year it brings me joy.
I mean, if we want to talk about fucking screenplays that nailed it, the jokes on jokes on jokes. I love them. Mm-hmm. Although I have to say my favorite is The Holiday. I'm a sucker for like a holiday rom-com. Have you seen The Holiday with okay, it's a rom-com from Nancy Meyers, who's done a lot of really cute stuff, and it's Jude Law and Cameron Diaz. And basically Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet are going through
I was like, excuse me, you cut out two of the other greatest.
Oh, I was planning on getting there. I was not finished.
Okay, I was like, how dare.
First of all, I'm getting defensive now because there was no way. I like to save the best for last. There was no way I was leaving Jack Black out of this because he's my number one celebrity crush. I'm marrying a man that looks just like him for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But basically, what's her face and Kate Winslet. Sorry, Cameron. Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet are going through these existential crises. They have these dead-end love lives. They're successful career women, but have dead-end love lives. And they decide to house swap for the holidays, for Christmas. And so Cameron goes to England and Kate comes to LA. And while they're there, they kind of just learn more about themselves, get out of their comfort zones, immerse themselves in the communities. Cameron Diaz and Jude Law bump into each other, and obviously there's the love story, which like cute, beautiful, glamorous people. But then the Kate Winslet Jack Black love story is where my heart is. And there's also a little elderly man who is like
Arthur.
He's like given up on. He's like this famous Hollywood writer, I want to say, and or director, I don't remember, but he like has given up on his life and he's like, I'm no one, I'm nothing, blah blah blah. And she's like, no. And so she kind of like helps rehab him, and like he has this lifetime achievement award thing. Anyway, I'm giving away the whole plot now, but Jack Black and Kate Winslet,
pull back.
Jack Black and Kate Winslet, like, anyway, Jack Black is forever in my heart anyway, that WAP video that he did in his Speedo on TikTok,
so good. It's so funny, like whenever I watch The Holiday or think about it, I actually think of it as like two separate films. Like you have the like Jude Law, Cameron Diaz, which I'll be completely honest is not my favorite plot
vanilla
line. Like I'm like, let's get back to Hollywood. I need to see Kate and Arthur and Jack Black. Like, let's go back to there. Mm-hmm. That storyline, like, whew.
Yeah.
Very
different than Elf, though. Very different.
Very different. Yes. Very, very different.
Lex, what's your favorite holiday movie?
I was just trying to think about that. And I think for me, it's a toss-up.
What a cliffhanger. She froze.
I know.
What a cliff. Wow.
Am I
Dramatic
back?
Pause.
Nope.
Dramatic
I'm
pause.
still gone.
I can't. It better be something good. Oh, there. It better be something good.
Am I back?
You're back. It better be something good after that cliffhanger.
Sorry about that. Our internet has been such trash lately. So it's a toss up between two. I really love I can't think of the name now.
Who's in it? What's it about?
A Christmas Story. Classic. I think just because we watched it so much as a kid. But my other one is Scrooged with Bill Murray. It's a tale of a Christmas story. But it was made in, I think, 1989 is when it released. And Bill Murray is like the CEO of essentially ABC. And they are doing a TV adaptation of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. He's an asshole and has like completely forgotten who he was. And the woman that he loves is like, she works for a nonprofit in a homeless shelter. And he's just kind of like removed himself from her. And so I think his previous boss comes back and haunts him and is like, you're going to be visited by 3 ghosts. And Carol Kane plays the ghost of Christmas Present and is so funny. Like,
I don't know who that is.
Oh my God. Oh, have you seen, what the fuck is the name of the show? Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah. Oh, is she
her
the
landlady?
Yeah.
That's
She's
Carol
great.
Kane. She's so funny in this. She's kind of like a wild tooth fairy. And then the ghost of Christmas Past is this like Jersey like cab driver, and it's brutal. It's such a good movie.
This sounds like
it's wonderful.
A absolute agent of chaos, and I'm here for it.
Oh, 100%.
If we're talking,
so that's another one.
Our favorite retelling of A Christmas Carol, then I have to go with A Diva's Christmas Carol, starring Vanessa Williams as Ebony Scrooge.
Julia, this is why we're friends. You are the only other person I've ever met who has seen that movie. It is my favorite. I love A Diva's Christmas
Have you seen it?
Oh my God. Okay.
So I'm going to not tell you as much about this plot as the holiday, obviously, because I don't want to ruin it. But I mean, well, it's A Christmas Carol, so how can I ruin it? It's always the same. Vanessa Williams is she plays Ebony Scrooge, and she's literally a diva. She basically, she's like the Beyonce. She used to be in a trio, and then they broke up. She went off to have a solo career, and she basically was just like, not saying Beyonce is like this, but she was basically like, I'm better than all of you. And forgot about everybody. And her former bandmate is played by Chili from TLC. And so it's just basically like this. It's very glamorous. It's very bougie. It's like over the top. It's campy. That's why I love it. Because I feel like so many retellings take it so seriously, but this one is like the soundtrack is banging. It's campy. It's over the top. There's obviously a lot of fur coats. Like it's primo.
It's great. It's great. It was. I think it aired.
It's called Diva.
A Diva's Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol.
A Diva's Christmas Carol. Okay, I'm writing it down because it sounds entirely up my alley.
Oh yeah,
it's so good.
And then let us know.
I'm trying to, I think you can stream it somewhere. I think I'm going to need to watch that later.
I hope.
I'm only watching retellings of A Christmas Carol this holiday season. Apparently I've seen 2 productions of A Christmas Carol already, and I'm about to see a 3rd in like a week and a half. So what up? And now I'm trying to like find the book so I can read it.
So you're going hard.
Yeah.
All the way.
Did I download an audiobook version with Hugh Grant narrating? Yes. So I'll be listening to that later.
I just like heard his voice in my mind, like his specific cadence. Anyway, so Carissa, back to what we were talking about before we went on this very topical and appropriate for the season tangent. You were saying you've gone through this path of like a lot of, you've been on this highway, a lot of twists and turns, got off the off ramp a few exits early, did some scenic route sightseeing, got back on, did your thing, and now you're having another kind of renaissance. So I know what it is, but will you tell the people that don't what's on the horizon for you?
Yes, I would love to. So I recently quit my day job. Maybe it's been about a month or so ago. yeah, I was working in a gallery as a preparator. So installing all the exhibitions and just handling the incoming and outgoing artwork. And I found that it just wasn't a right fit and I just wasn't happy. And I decided to just take the leap and start running my own business. So I am going to be running a business. I'm still thinking about the name for it. It might just be my first name, but of photography and makeup services. So I'm going to offer, individual photography packages, and then also a dual makeup and portrait package where I'll be doing the makeup and portrait services in the same session. And I've already gotten a couple of clients this month, and I already made rent.
Yes.
I'm so excited about that. It feels like for some reason I quit my job and I wasn't nervous. Which is very not like me. Usually big changes like that, I need to have plan A through Z for things that don't work out. But I was just like, no, like this is what feels right. So I've just got to try. I've got to try. Otherwise, I'm already not happy. What's going to happen if I try and then I'm not happy again? I'll just figure it out,
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen is that, I'm still in the troubleshooting phases of figuring out what I want. But everyone has been so amazing and so supportive. All my friends and family have been so encouraging of this, and it's really incredible. So I've also lived in the Bay Area my whole life. It's very difficult to keep a friend crew out here because everyone just keeps leaving, which is very difficult. My best friend actually moved to Greenpoint, and I visited her a few months ago. Greenpoint is in Brooklyn, New York, and I fell in love with the neighborhood. And now that I'm doing photo and makeup, I'm going to try and make my way over there into New York and, get my way into the fashion scene and try and just develop a client base there and, meet lots of people. So that's what's on the horizon for me. That's happening in a few months, which is insane to think about.
Hell yeah.
So exciting.
Thank you. Yeah. So that's what's happening for me. I'm going for it and things are falling into place. I started assisting this other photographer. She's kind of taken me under her wing. Her name's Lisa Wortman. She's an incredible lifestyle and fitness photographer in the Bay. And I've known her for a few years. And so she's kind of mentoring me with that. I can kind of go to her for any questions that I have. Because, I've never run a real business before. I don't know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. But, yeah. There's still so many things I need to learn and want to learn. So it's nice to have that just so organically fell into place. As soon as I quit my job, she put something out on Instagram that was does anyone have any friends that are photo editors? I'm looking for somebody that could help. I was like, I know how to use those things. I know how to use Photoshop in Lightroom. So I reached out to her and I was like, I don't have a job right now. This sounds perfect. And she was like, oh my God, I've been thinking about hiring a studio assistant. And I was like, oh, fantastic. This is just perfect. The things just happen. It's something about positive momentum. I quit my job with this positive mindset of feeling confident in the way things were going to roll out, which was a strange thing or an out of character thing for me to feel with huge changes like that. But I really feel like it sent some sort of energy out into the world being okay, she's ready for this. She's ready to talk about this. She's ready to pursue different leads. Here they are. And I'm just trying to ride that wave.
Yeah.
Trying to keep positive momentum going. And I've been working so much, like developing marketing materials and just trying to get everything off the ground, emailing clients and doing all of that. And I've already made rent for this month. I mean,
yeah.
That's so dope.
It was like so huge. Like it was so difficult for me to do that consistently with painting because it just takes so long to develop a body of work. But I mean, I'm on a great trajectory and it feels really exciting.
I love that. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
I agree with you. I feel like, I don't know if you're spiritual or or religious or what your belief is. But I feel like a lot of the times there is a greater power, and define that however you want. Define that as the universe, define that as extraterrestrials, define that as God, however you want to define it as, we're all Sims and someone's, playing the game, however you want to define it. But I feel like whatever greater force there is, I like to think it's, the universal force. And I'm like, so many times, like as smart as we are, we're like, oh, we're the smartest species on this planet. I think that is ultimately one of our biggest disadvantages because we overthink so much. And I feel like there is this greater force that the only thing it's waiting for us to do is get out of our own way. It's like, I'm waiting for you to be ready for this because I have it. It's gift wrapped. It's super cute. I have it sitting right there. When you tell me you're ready, I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah. I think I'm not religious at all, but I totally subscribe to that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just whenever I feel I'm ready and I'm most confident, there's something about energy too. I don't know. Other people can pick up on your energy, and it's like if you're not giving off an energy that you're ready for it, people don't believe you.
Yeah.
People subscribe to that. So it's like you just have to be really in touch with that. And I feel like I finally got to that point. It's like this is what I'm doing. I'm putting out a plan. I'm moving to New York, all the way across the country, away from my mom, which I'm really scared about. And like a Californian in the snow, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, I couldn't be more confident about these decisions. And, again, like if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. But I'm at least going to go. I'm going to try. I'm going to pursue these things that I love and just go for it. And there's a lot of I will say there's a lot of privilege in me being able to do that. Like I had a savings, to be able to fall back on. It's not like, so like for anyone listening, like it's not something anybody can just do. So I recognize that. And I feel very lucky to be able to have the space to pursue my art passions, and create this life that I really want for myself. So instead of like me getting in my own way and not like taking advantage of this time, or this opportunity, like, I'm just going for it. But yeah, I will say it's like, I feel very lucky. I feel very, very lucky and very grateful just for how things have happened, to set up this opportunity for myself. Not to say that it's like easy or anything,
right.
But it takes some planning. It takes some money,
right.
to put to set aside. Like investing in a business is a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
I did not realize how expensive a makeup kit was going to be, and I'm still building that and, slowly figuring all of that out. But yeah, here I am. Here I'm going.
Yeah.
If I have to eat ramen noodles and like baked potatoes for a long time, that's fine. I'll go for walks.
Yep. Well, luckily you're moving to a place that has delicious like dollar slices of pizza. So
yes.
I'm very excited for that.
Yeah.
I'll be taking people's pizza recommendations soon as well. Best slice in the city.
Well, I grew up in New York City. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of, more than Pizza Rex, I just have a lot of fun, like, people to introduce you to and things to talk about offline. So we'll talk about that. But I think gratitude, what you were saying, gratitude is so important. And it's the other piece of it, right? It's being open to receiving all of the things that you want. And then it's also expressing gratitude for being given those gifts, for sure. So
Totally, yeah.
I know money is one of those things, and opportunity is one of those things that maybe not all of us have access to, but what is something, like, what is a piece of advice, or even, like, I don't know, a suggestion that you would have that is attainable for anyone that maybe wants to pursue something and they feel that trepidation or that uncertainty?
I would say spend your free time researching how, or, I mean, that's a part of it, but I think the reason that I felt so, maybe the reason I felt so confident about quitting my job and just going for it full throttle was, I have this picture of how I want to feel in my life. I want to be happy. I want to have a balanced work-life situation. I want to have my friends around me and a community that supports me. I want to be able to pursue my creative passions and also, like, my own personal work. So creating this, like, really healthy balance is this big goal for my life. And once I figured out that big goal, I was like, okay, what could the things be that could create that for me? And it was like, I want to do makeup and photography. Where is my niche going to be the best? Probably New York. Oh, my friend's already over. My best friend is already over there. I have family on the East Coast. Like, I could make this work. Maybe it's over there that I need to go. And, like, things kind of evolve over that. So figuring out how you want to feel in your life, starting there and working backwards, I think really helped me. I don't know if that's like,
that's amazing.
No, that is 100%. So I think one thing that I do want to point out to people is that you are, like, I'll say it for you. I don't know if you'll say it for yourself. I know you're on the humble side, but it's not only that you're doing these things and that you've studied these things, but I've seen your work, and your work is absolutely stunning. Like, it is romantic, but also vibrant. And you manage to capture the most, it comes through to me like you're capturing the most authentic and best parts of the people you're photographying. You're capturing, you're taking their photos, but it's beautiful. You have an amazing eye for that, and your makeup work is incredible. Where can the people find you? Where can they book you? Go ahead and pimp yourself out to the people.
Thank you so much. That was so sweet. I'm blushing.
You are. I can see it. You are. It's so cute.
My Instagram handles, I literally don't remember them. I need to look at them. And my photo one is Diaz Photo Studio _, and my makeup account is Tulip Gloss _. So tulip like the flower, gloss like lip gloss. So those are my two accounts. And that's where you can find me. That's where you can book me. There's all types of information on there. My marketing materials that I work so hard on are there. My highlights.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where you can find me. Let's get connected. Let's do it. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yes. I love it. I love it so much. And then, so yeah, people in the Bay Area can go ahead, book you. And if they want to book you out for further, they can probably just pay for your travel and book you for that. And then you're going to be in New York as of May?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Amazing. All right. Well,
dope.
We wanted just to end on a quick little high note. Is there anything this week, be it a TV show, a movie, a book, whatever, that you are loving that is giving you, quote, that is giving you love, it's giving you life, it's something that you want to release out and share with the world?
Oh my God.
You can't be all work, no play.
I have been.
Well, then
it can also be like,
then let this be your official sign from the universe coming through me that maybe today you play a little.
Oh, okay. I think that is a very smart idea. I had a really crazy week because I made rent, which is amazing. Yes. And now I'm on this high of like, let's keep working. But no, I should probably chill. I'm gonna watch that Christmas movie.
A Diva's Christmas Carol?
Yes.
Amazing.
Everyone should watch that.
Yes. That's highly recommend.
It's a collective recommendation of the week.
There you go.
Yes.
Amazing, Carissa. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing your journey with us. All the best to you. We are going to be keeping tabs and staying in contact with you. And listeners and watchers, since our episodes are now on YouTube, anyone that's listening to this episode, watching us, go ahead and go into the show notes where we will also link all of Carissa's socials so you can check out her beautiful work for yourself. But thank you so much, Carissa.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Yay! All right.
My ass is asleep. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, okay. I'm going to stop recording, Carissa, if you can hang tight, because we want to make sure everything uploads.
Sure. Sounds